I was going through some old boxes recently and I found this. I was thinking, why don't I give it a try, try new things. Oh no, 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 no. Super Mario Bros. 3 was released in 1988 for the Nintendo Entertainment System and is the third game in the Mario series, following Mario trying to rescue Peach from Bowser. But this time, Bowser's not alone, he also has his evil Koopa kids. The game has 8 worlds, and we're gonna go through them one by one, talking about their features and special gimmicks that might occur in a level. World 1 is your basic starter world. It has all the basic things. Your generic sky blue background, your grass, your floating blocks in space, normal stuff. The only really unique part is one that's shared across the entire game, and that's the warp whistle. By crouching on these white blocks for 5 seconds, you fall behind the rest of the scenery, and if you make it to the end in an appropriate amount of time, you get a warp whistle, which allows you to travel to different worlds within the game. Other than that, World 1 is your basic starter world. Nothing too special, but still a fun time. Next up is World 2, which, like in most Mario games, is the desert world. It has all of your regular desert things like pyramids and sand and an angry sun that tries to hunt you down and kill you. And other than that, the most noticeable and, in my opinion, best part is the pyramid level, where you have to enter a pyramid and navigate your way out of it. It's actually a really fun level, and it's, in my opinion, one of the best in the game. However, there is also one more notable fact, and that is that in World 2 of Super Mario Bros. 3 is the first ever Boo House or Ghost House in Mario. And it's not that fun. As most ghost houses are, they just aren't that fun to play. But, everybody has to start somewhere. Oh. Whoa! Guess I'm in the desert or something. Hey, how come the sun looks like that? Whoa! Next up is the water world, where, you guessed it, there's water. The only real notable level in this one is the Boss Bass level, where throughout the entire level, you're being chased by a man-eating giant Cheep Cheep known as the Boss Bass. The level is incredibly hard, as you can't go into the water, and you have to avoid falling in as the height of the water rises and lowers throughout the level. Next up is the giant world, where everything's giant and you're real small. That's kind of it, really. It's true though. Everything, including the enemies, are giant-sized, and it's your job to avoid being crushed by them as you navigate the level. The next world is very interesting. It's part basic ground level, but then, halfway through the world, you end up playing levels up in the clouds, and from the map screen, you can see the levels you were previously playing. It's really cool. This world also features the very first sighting of the Chain Chomp enemy, which later became a standard enemy in Mario games. Following that is the Ice World, which has some kind of creepy music, but other than that, isn't that special. It's just your run-of-the-mill ice levels, which are, as always, incredibly annoying. You know, if you want to hear more about ice levels, you should watch my last Christmas special about ice levels. Other than that, this world's pretty boring. Next up is World 7, which is pipe-themed. You use pipes to get around, you use them to get around on the main map, you play levels where they're everywhere. It's pipe-themed. It's not exactly a good theme, because there's only so much you can do with pipes, but, it is a theme for a world. Yeah. And finally, we've made it to World 8, the final world in Super Mario Bros. 3. And this world consists of a barrage of challenges, starting off with some tank levels, which consist of tanks. You have to jump across them or fly over them to avoid the barrage of cannon blasts, bullet bills, and other bombs. Once you're past those, you have to pass over hand tiles where skeleton hands might drag you into the ground. And if you make it all the way through that, you finally face off with the King Koopa himself, Bowser. Now, you may have noticed that I haven't talked about any other bosses up to that point. That's because all the bosses previous to this are Bowser's Koopa kids, and you fight them each throughout all of the levels. However, their fights are practically the exact same, so there's not really a lot of point in talking about them. Another boss that you fight across the game is Boom Boom, a big guy in a spiky shell. At one point he gains wings, but you just jump on him 3 times, much like the other bosses, and it's a very easy fight that's pretty boring. Unlike the Bowser fight, where you have to get him to ground pound through 3 layers of bricks into a pit in his base to make him fall to his doom. So, we've talked about the levels, but do you know what else is in levels? Power-ups. And this game introduced 3 power-ups that are sometimes still in Mario games to this day. Starting off with the Power Leaf, which gives Mario ears and a tail and allows him to fly if he runs for a long enough period beforehand. After that is the Tanuki suit, which allows him to do the exact same thing, but he can also turn into a statue to avoid getting hit by enemies. And the third and final power-up is the Hammer suit, which allows Mario to throw hammers at his enemies, killing them instantly. So, we've talked about the levels, the power-ups, and the final boss. But what do I think of Super Mario Bros. 3? Well, I think it was a step in the right direction for the Mario series, following the relative disaster that was Super Mario Bros. 2. It was a great reset back to what made Mario good, stomping on Goombas and crushing Koopas. It also had a new variety of bosses instead of just Bowser, or, like that in Super Mario Bros. 2, a giant toad and a rat and a snake. This was a great way to continue the series on the NES before moving it on to the Super Nintendo. And that was Super Mario Bros. 3, the alright sequel to Super Mario Bros. 2, which was okay. The game has some fun challenges and overall is a very good Mario game, but Something about that sun just... Oh, no. Really, man? Just go away. Leave me alone. Oh.